So you know how I said I needed to reduce my TBR pile? Hello beautiful bookworm friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a book haul for you guys. So last week I was trying to film 2 videos, including this video that I'm doing now, and for some reason my camera was playing up, so that's the reason why I didn't post any videos last week. I'm so sorry about that. Now I'm back to using my laptop, so back to basics for me, so I'm so sorry for the quality of the video. Anyways, back to the book haul. So I finally had the chance to use some of the gift cards that I was given for Christmas, and so yeah, that's how I got all these books. I'm not gonna go into much detail with these books because there's so many of them, and if I do that we're not gonna get through all of them. Anyways, let's get on with the video. First books I'm going to show you guys are books that were given to me by my best friend Gloria for Christmas. So she got me the Grisha trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. So I've got Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Ruins and Rising, and I can't wait to read all these. So I've always wanted to read a book by Leigh Bardugo, especially Six of Crows, and I know you don't have to read the trilogy before reading Six of Crows, but I'm just really happy that I got this trilogy so then I can start off with all her books. And then I got Stealing Snow by Danielle Page. I saw this advertised in Yelp and I can remember picking up the fan, I think it was a fan, yeah, with this cover, and I thought, oh, the cover looks really good and it sounds really interesting, so I finally managed to pick up a copy, and I guess it's about the Snow Queen, so I'm really intrigued. And I also got Red Queen by Christina Henry. This is the sequel to Alice. I read Alice last year for Halloween, yeah, during October, and I really enjoyed that book. It's a dark retelling of Alice in Wonderland, and it's very twisted and gory, but I really enjoyed reading it, and I don't usually read that kind of genre, you know, horror, but I found the series very interesting, so I'm continuing with the sequel. Can't wait to read more about Alice and the Hatcher. I also picked up Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. Now I've seen this book everywhere on YouTube, and the opening is the thing that really intrigued me. It says, once upon a time an angel and a devil fell in love. It did not end well. I think everyone on YouTube knows that. Then I got Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I'm sort of playing catch up because I've seen this on YouTube as well a couple of times now, and I thought that it sounded so good, so I picked it up, and I believe this is a sci-fi and it has to do with virtual reality, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. And I finally picked up a copy of Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is the sequel to Illuminate. I believe that this book focuses on different characters, but we still get to see the characters from Illuminate, so I can't wait to find out what happens to them next, and to Aiden, the crazy AI. The next one is As All This Time, A Twisted Tale by Liz Braswell. This is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. As you can see from the cover, there's the beast, and it says, what if Belle's mother cursed the beast? Sounds interesting. I actually saw this book on YouTube. Victoria from Writing Elephant, I think that's her channel, made a review on this. I love Beauty and the Beast, and I thought it would be really good to pick this up because, you know, the movie is coming out in March, I believe, this year, so I want to read a retelling just to pump myself up for the movie. From what I've heard, this book follows the movie, the original movie, quite closely, like word for word, but it changes and we get to find out more about Belle's mother and how she became the Enchantress. I'm really intrigued, you know. What if Belle's mother cursed the beast? I also picked up The Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid. I've seen this book all over YouTube and I thought I had to pick it up, especially if it was £4 on Amazon. That was a bargain, and it's a hardcover as well. I believe this is a sci-fi and it evolves around this girl called Nemesis. She is a diabolic, so she was created to protect the senator's daughter, who is called Sidonia, I think that's her name. And when the emperor summoned Sidonia to go to court as hostage, Nemesis had to pretend to be her so then she can protect her and, you know, do whatever she had to do as a diabolic. It sounds interesting. I mean, this cover is quite different actually, because I've seen everyone with a white cover. I'm not sure if this is the UK version. But it says a diabolic is ruthless, a diabolic is powerful, a diabolic has a single task: kill in order to protect the person you've been created for. Sounds interesting. Yeah. And then I picked another Beauty and the Beast retelling. I got Of Beast and Beauty by Stacey J. It's so funny because when I saw the cover of this online, I thought that was a guy in a girl's hand holding a rose, but then now I realized that that's like a girl. That's a girl holding a rose behind her back or something like that, and that's technically her dress. I was thinking, oh. I wanted to complete the series, so I got Frost Like Night by Sarah Rush. This is the third and final installment to the Snow Like Ashes novel or trilogy. I've got the first 2 books, so I just needed this one, and I haven't read the second one, but I'm about to. I'm definitely reading that in the near future. I also picked up Ever the Hunted by Erin Somerville, and I'm really scared about this book. I love the cover, but it's so white. Kind of scared to touch it just in case my fingers are dirty. And the inside is white, and yeah, I'm gonna put this down before I smudge it. The texture of that book as well, it just, you know, it just attracts dust and smudges. It's easily smudged. The book revolves around a 17-year-old girl called Britta. She spends her time tracking criminals with her father, who is a famous bounty hunter, but then one day her father was murdered. Now she's all alone, and she was caught poaching by royal guards, and they made a bargain with her. So they said, you know, you don't have to be imprisoned if you bring to us your father's murderer, but it's not an easy task because her father's murderer is actually her father's prodigy. She had some kind of history with him as well. I think they probably grew up together or something like that. So it sounds interesting, and I love the cover, so I picked it up. And then I picked up Rebel Spring by Morgan Rose. This is the sequel to Falling Kingdoms. I read Falling Kingdoms a few weeks ago, and I really enjoyed that, and then I realized I have the 3rd book but I don't have the 2nd book, so now I have the 2nd book. Next is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. This is now a major motion picture. I've heard so many good things about this book as well, and I wanted to read the book before I watched the movie. My friend Alex watched the movie recently and she said it was fantastic. So whilst buying A Monster Calls, I also decided to pick up another book because I don't know, I just don't want to buy one book at a time. I'm weird like that. So I also picked up The Bane Chronicles by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Rees Brennan and Maureen Johnson. I just love Magnus Bane from the Shadowhunters series. I decided to just get this book, and plus these books were from the website called The Book People, and they're really cheap. I think I got this for about £4 and A Monster Call for $3.99 or something like that. So I thought, bargain! I didn't even realize that this is a hardcover. I thought it would be a paperback. I'm not gonna complain because this is one of those hardcovers that don't have dust jackets, and it's just perfect. I don't understand why we have dust jackets. Why can't we just print it out like this? You know? Then again, another bargain. I got The Seven Sisters by Lucinda Riley. This reminded me of Labyrinth by Kate Moss. It's set in 2 different times. So we have Maia, I think that's her name, Maia, who is trying to find her heritage after her adopted father dies. She's given a clue to who she is, and her and her siblings were all adopted, so they're all trying to find out what happened to their parents or where they came from and so on. And we have Belle. Her story happened 8 years earlier, so 8 years earlier than, you know, Maia's story, and for some reason they are connected to each other. So I thought I'd pick that up because it sounded interesting. And also this was I think £1. This was included in a newspaper, so I got the newspaper and got this book for £1. So I thought, why not? And whilst buying the paper at WH Smith, I also saw Christina Jones' Moonshine. This was £1.50. I think they were doing, you know, reductions. I really love Christina Jones books. They are feel-good books. They are love stories, of course, and they're always set. I've got some of the series, actually. I've got at least 3 of her other books. They're all set in this one village or this one town, and so as you read, although they are standalone books, you get to see the other characters from previous books as well. And so I really love reading her book. They're quite short and, as I said, you know, feel good and cozy books. And I went to the works. They always have £3 for £5 books. First one is Match Me If You Can by Michelle Gorman. I thought this was really interesting because it revolves around these girls. So one of the girls, she has this dating site or something like that, and then she got the other girls to recommend their ex-boyfriends to these people on the dating site, and I just thought that sounded really funny. Again, it's one of those books that you probably read in the summer when you're out on the beach or somewhere like that, and I haven't picked up those kind of books in a while, so yeah, I can't wait to read this one. I decided to also pick up RSVP by Helen Warner, 4 Women, 1 Wedding, Who Will Say I Do. This reminded me of The Revenge of the Bridesmaids. That movie had Raven-Symoné in it. It says Anna the heartbroken ex, Claire the best friend, Ella the femme fatale, and Rachel the bride-to-be. That's why I got it. And to complete my 3 for £5 books, I picked up I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. This is one of the first books I encountered on BookTube, and so when I saw it, I thought I might as well pick it up. Anyway guys, that is it for me for today. I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up, and yeah, I shall see you guys soon. Bye bye.